atau setiap seorang daripada 4 pengundi dalam pilihan raya 2011 lahir selepas tahun 1975. Jelasnya, undi mereka mampu mendatangkan kesan yang mendalam kepada sistem pemerintahan Singapura dalam tahun-tahun mendatang. Yang menjadi keprihatinan mereka dalam pilihan raya kali ini, isu-isu periuk nasi. Mereka ingin tahu bagaimana pemerintah dapat mengekang kadar inflasi dan menyelamatkan pekerjaan. Sungguh pun keprihatinan ini tidak banyak berbeza daripada generasi lama, namun ia lebih mencabar untuk mendapatkan sokongan warga muda ini kerana mereka mempunyai aspirasi yang berbeza-beza. Maka itu tidak hairanlah jika bilangan calon muda yang bertanding dalam pilihan raya kali ini, tidak kira dari parti PAP maupun pembangkang, juga ramai untuk lebih memahami dan mudah mendampingi golongan pengundi ini. Calon-calon baru PAP saja berusia dalam lingkungan 30-an tahun. Malah, terdapat 12 calon yang bertanding dalam pilihan raya kali ini berusia 29 tahun ke bawah. Yang termuda ialah Alex Tan, 23 tahun, yang bertanding di GRC Ang Mo Kio di bawah tiket Parti Reform. Sungguh pun ada di kalangan calon muda ini yang dikritik hebat kerana dianggap kurang matang dalam politik. Ada juga yang sangat popular kerana berupaya menambat hati setiap lapisan masyarakat.
Dan saudara, kini kita bersama Riz Sunawan yang berada di Stadium Toa Payoh dengan laporannya. Riz.
Terima kasih Osman. Pusat perhimpunan di Stadium Toa Payoh ini merupakan pusat perhimpunan untuk para penyokong Parti Tindakan Rakyat PAP bagi 4 GRC, Ang Mo Kio, Moulmein Kallang, Nisun dan juga Bishan Toa Payoh serta 4 SMC, Radin Mas, Mountbatten, Whampoa dan juga pastinya Potong Pasir. Dan kami di sini menjangkakan kehadiran calon-calon PAP yang dipimpin Perdana Menteri Lee Hsien Loong selepas jam 10.30 malam nanti, dan saya akan cuba mendapatkan wawancara secara langsung daripada calon-calon Melayu seperti Dr. Yaakob Ibrahim, Encik Zainuddin Nordin, Dr. Faisal dan juga Dr. Intan Azura. Sebaik saja mereka berada di sini. Setakat itu laporan saya dari Pusat Perhimpunan Stadium Toa Payoh ini. Kita kembali ke Studio 6 di Bukit Caldecott bersama Osman Buhari.
Terima kasih Riz. Riz, itu dia Riz Sunawan di Stadium Toa Payoh, dan di antara GRC yang akan diumumkan keputusannya ialah untuk GRC Ang Mo Kio, Bishan Toa Payoh, Moulmein Kallang, Nisun, Potong Pasir, Radin Mas, Whampoa dan Mountbatten. Dan kini kita bersama Melissa dan juga Dominic. Over to you.
Terima kasih, Uthman. Now, in the last leg of the election campaign, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong decided to focus the party's message on young voters.
He even logged on to Facebook for his first ever web chat. Well, let's check back in with May Wong for that. May.
That's right. Prime Minister Lee acknowledged that the future is in the hands of the young Singaporeans, and he hopes that they can play a big part in shaping the future for this country. And here is a picture of Mr. Lee Facebooking and going through a 1-hour Facebook chat with about 5,000 participants a couple of nights ago, dealing with many different issues, from the cost of living to transportation costs as well as affordability of housing. A lot of the young Singaporeans were clamoring for his attention and hoping that he'd be able to shed some light on the answers, or on some of the questions that they have for him. Now, how this is all shaping the election? Well, that's because the election rules for the internet campaigning has changed, and now we'll take a look at a report which we put together for you.
Opposition parties are enjoying greater visibility thanks to social media tools. This YouTube video by the Singapore Democratic Party received a lot of attention in the first 24 hours. And uploading podcasts on its website will no longer be an issue for the SDP, which was asked to remove them during the 2006 polls. Parties have been coming up with creative ways to win the battle for eyeballs, especially since campaign recordings, including rallies, can now be posted online without first going through the Board of Film Censors. Candidates have also used social media as an inexpensive way to mobilize support. This Coach bag, for example, was put up for sale by the Reform Party to help fund its campaign.
The playing field has been leveled now. If you see more opposition-related videos, that is probably a reflection of a pent-up supply, rather than something that is disadvantageous to PAP. In fact, PAP can do a lot more if they choose to, because they simply have much greater wherewithal to use the new media.
I would be your voice in government.
PAP politicians have also been using new media to reach out to an increasingly wired generation, and this was even before the election started. Even the Prime Minister, a self-confessed newbie, got into the act during the campaigning period, taking part in his first ever web chat. But candidates also know Facebook pages, tweets and blog posts can only go so far. And that in the end, you still need a personal touch to win the vote.
Well, social media is a very new thing for all the political candidates as well as the political parties, and they, as you mentioned in the report, they've been grappling with all these new adventures in terms of dealing with the social media. And Prime Minister Lee himself even started off the chat earlier by saying that he is new to this game, so please do not flame him. So that is the kind of situation that we're dealing with right now when it comes to the social media tools of Facebook and Twitter. But do continue to keep us posted in terms of your tweets coming in at GE2011 and continue to keep track of the movement on ge.sg.
All right, thank you so much, May. Well, we're going for a quick break right now, and still to come, a look at Singapore's new breed of politicians who are young and raring to go.
For those of you who have just joined us, welcome to MediaCorp's special coverage of Vote 2011. A reminder that we are on results watch right now. Now, in this election, a significant number of young Gen Y voters have emerged.
Well, those under the age of 35 account for 1 in 4 of the 2.2 million who are eligible to cast their ballots. And here's a closer look at the concerns of the post-75 group and what influences their decisions.
28-year-old Kenny Ng and his fiancée are eagerly awaiting their big day in June. But one issue weighs constantly on their minds.
I've been looking for a flat for the last 1.5 years. So housing pricing has been very high and going up ever since.
The couple are keen to start a family, but are also worried about the rising cost of living.
Recently, it's been like everybody's wanting to eat cheap. So lunch, even, you think about where to get cheap food. One of my friends even wanted to create an iPhone app to source for cheaper groceries. He's saying how expensive milk powder has been recently.
Bread and butter issues are the top concerns among most young Singaporeans we spoke to. They want to know how the politicians plan to tame inflation and protect jobs. Observers say this is not too different from what the older generation is concerned with. But it is more challenging for the People's Action Party to win the support of this younger, more socially conscious group who tend to have a more favourable impression of the opposition parties.
The post-75 voters have generally grown up in an age of affluence. So the PAP's narrative of third world to first world probably will not have that much traction with them. And so they will have to try many other means, right? So certainly you see, for example, the PAP MPs and ministers being aggressively, right, on online platforms. I think that's a reflection of the times.
This is said to be the election to watch out for who will emerge as the country's core team of next generation ministers. And it is being described as a watershed election for young Singaporeans, even if they are not yet old enough to vote.
Well, as we wait for the first results of Singapore's 11th general election, let's take a look at areas that are seeing contests for the first time in a while.
Now, the new single-member constituency of